Welcome your faces back to episode number 60, season 2 of the series Profit or Loss. I feel like we're ever so slightly moving closer to how many episodes we had in season 1, which was a total of 104. But our target is double that of season 1, £2,000 instead of £1,000. So even if we got there in 104 episodes, we'd still be better off. This is where we currently stand, £1,676.69. Somebody actually commented on a previous video and was asking how much I made hourly, and so far our hourly profit is £12.11, which is, I think, just below minimum wage here in the UK, and that's over 138 hours work. So this is not bad at all. Once season 2 finishes, I will do a comparison between season 1 stats and season 2. Anyway, I'm making a profit today. I come with vengeance. Last episode hit me quite hard and it was rather unfortunate. Today is a different day. What have you got for us, Joey? I paid £125.88 for this PlayStation 5 digital edition console. Now, whilst that's a good price, when I was taking it out of the packaging, I could hear something. So Lord only knows what I'm in for. I do like these ones, and the reason I like them is because it says no returns. Console shows no power at all, no beeps if you press the power button. But the no returns is in all caps, which usually doesn't mean good things, but we'll see. I won't reveal the name of the eBay seller, but they've got 99.8% positive feedback over 700 items sold, and it does say something about console repairs. So, chances are I've been stiffed, but does that mean we're going to give up easily? Absolutely not. I'm expecting this device to be in okay condition if it's come from an eBay seller which has, you know, something like console repairs in their name, right? I don't know why, again, it's rattling around. That kind of makes me very uneasy, but I'm going to just give this some power and see if I get power. No, 0. The button feels a little bit clunky. I don't think that's going to have anything to do with it, but let's start getting this stripped down to see if we can make some money from it, or is it going to be a resale? Hopefully not. Oh, that's in there tight, that screw. Model, I believe, is a 1216B, as it said on the listing as well. Where's my electric screwdriver? Any tools in this video, I'll leave a link down below in the description. Affiliate links, I may add. So I do get a small kickback if and when you use those links. That was sticky. Oh, there's tape here. A little bit of a dirty fan, I may add. Also worth noting, I got my inspector hat on. The warranty sticker has not been fully taken off. It's just been pierced. Interesting. And the rest of the screws, missing one here. Here we go. Oh, I'm not ready for this. Come on, show me what you got. Okay. This is relatively clean. However, here is our culprit rattling around. It's another screw for the SSD cover here. Clearly, I think this person does work on consoles. Shock Sherlock from the name. For them to also then be leaving screws in this console. Also, okay, we got another one of these. I'm cursed, I swear. Somebody has done UART to this, and you can tell by the 3 soldered points just over here. The device that is used for UART connects to the South Bridge, which then produces error codes and gives us a rough idea as to what is actually going on with this console, what the fault is. However, when it's a no power, it doesn't really generate the codes unless you're looking for codes that happened previous to the no power. Perhaps where my head goes pretty instantly is that this console was not a no power straight away. It was a beep on, beep off. Something else has happened and now it's a no power. That would then explain as to why UART has been done to it, because it doesn't really make sense to do UART, like I said, unless it had a previous history of beep on, beep off. Or I guess you could argue maybe they were searching for codes previous to it just not having any power to see if the last code on the South Bridge would give you some sort of answer. Anyway, that's just an observation. I'm not going to assume anything. I have fixed multiple boards that have had UART done to them before because somebody's missed something, or maybe it's going to be something like a South Bridge or SSD controller where the person just hasn't been bothered to fix the console because those repairs are a little bit more highly skilled. Let's see. It's screw time. Right, how much work has actually been done to this board? Here we go. Momentous of truth. I see some work has definitely been done to the HDMI IC, and the reason I can tell is because there seems to be some flux coming through the wires just there, right in that angle of light. I can see some other bits of flux as well. Yeah, this board's had a lot of work done to it. Okay, so it's also had work done to it down here as well. Okay, I will give a slightly, I believe, a controversial opinion here. Some people will like this take, others might not. But when I list an item on eBay that I have previously worked on, and again, this seller had console repairs in their name, I feel like you should try and be as upfront and honest as possible with your eBay listing. This person has just said, console has been opened, it's faulty, and it shows no power. Whilst I understand that they have given what seems to be an accurate description there, as somebody who is a seller of items that are faulty, I like to list what the fault previously was and what I have done to attempt the fix. And rather just tell you that that's what I do. Here's a previous listing of the 3080 Ti that I wasn't able to fix. And it says exactly what happened. I purchased it, no posting. The card was open before I purchased it, and I had the word BIOS written on it. I put pretty much down to a T what I'd done. So, you know, I flashed the BIOS, replaced the capacitor next to the GPU core, and also used fresh pads all around. I then used the card in my PC for over 24 hours, blah, blah, blah. And then I linked the video for it. I know that not everybody can do that, understandably. I'm not asking for that at all. And then just in bullet points, you know, I've said that it was purchased and just highlighted exactly what it is that I've done to make sure that the buyer knows exactly what it is that they're getting themselves into. Whilst I understand that that might put some sellers off, the rate of return is much less for that reason. And I just feel like potentially this person could have done a bit of a better job considering they do the repairs, assuming, you know, that they could have said that they had tried certain chips and they had done UART, etc., etc. And maybe just even put what the UART code was would be quite handy. Now, understandably, again, they've sold it for cheap. It was £120. People could just tell me to completely do one, to be honest. And I'll take that with a pinch of salt. But if you are somebody who watches these videos and you are somebody who sells items, including that information would just be best for everybody involved. I don't know that this was in properly, you know. Yeah, it was. Okay, I'm going to remove this and try and power it on. See if it's something to do with the cable. Caught out many a time with this LED cable. No beeps, nothing like that. Okay, let's get our multimeter and just check our voltages, make sure we get our 12 volt, etc. Now, I'll be very annoyed if we don't get 12 volts on the 12 volt rail, because that would then assume that the power supply is faulty. And what that then potentially means is that the person who had this previously has just swapped out the power supply for a bad one, and before it came to us, it was a beep on, beep off. If that is the case, in my opinion, that's scummy. Okay, so multimeter is present in the top right. Do we get 12 volts? Let's see. Ground, 12 volts. We do. Okay, cool. Let's check for other voltages whilst we're here. So I should get 5 on this side, which I do. We should get 3.3 down here. Oh, we have a 3.3 volt short. Yes, we do. Okay. All right. Well, that is good to know that we've got the 3.3 volt short. Could be a plethora of things, but I'm going to go ahead and say that it's most likely something Southbridge related based on what I said earlier and the fact that maybe they weren't getting any codes back or something from the Southbridge, and just decided at that point to let it go rather than try to fix it. So let's see what the situation is underneath, which is where we have the Southbridge. Good news as well is that the Southbridge doesn't look like it's been Oh, well, I don't know if you can see. You should be able to. There is just a random cap here. I don't know why. Or is that an inductor? Sorry. That's yeah, it's a coil. Where's that? Okay, importantly, I need to figure out where that's come from. So there is going to be a missing coil somewhere, I believe. And I'm going to need to find it. All right, this just got very interesting, I guess. I'm going to zoom straight into that inductor, just to make sure it's an inductor. Yeah, I think this has been replaced. I think the HDMI encoder IC has been replaced, hey? Which is this chip here, FYI. The one that I'm looking at. Now, has it been put on correctly? I see a couple of dull solder joints down here. I'm just going to take this inductor. I'm just seeing if it's somewhere. It should go somewhere around here. I don't think it should, from what I can tell. Oh, what's that? It kind of just looks like bad solder here or something. I don't know. Is it flux? Oh, it's just gunk. Okay, it's gunk. I can't see where that's missing from. How's the HDMI port? Has that been swapped? I want to say that's factory. Yeah, that's a factory port, so the port's not being touched at all. But what's going on around here, man? Was there a short on this rail, perhaps, which is why we saw that component near here? I don't know why that would justify it being here, but let me just see. No, we don't have a short here. You'd hear my multimeter beep if that was the case. Like that, because it's in continuity mode right now. On this coil here, we don't have a short. So this side is ground, but it's not beeping. Why is it not beeping? There we go, that's better. Yeah, we definitely don't have a short here. We do have a short on our 3.3 volt line. I'm pretty sure this is 5 volts around here. I'm just going to check quick. You know, we've got this chip here, which is clearly being replaced. I'm just going to check on some of these caps. Let me put my multimeter on again, just up here. I'm just going to zoom around here real quick and see if there's anything weird. No, I mean, they all seem to be okay. I'm now moving over to where we've got the south bridge. Okay, I'm just checking to see if this chip has been changed. Oh yeah, okay, wow. So we got quite a bit of flux under the south bridge just here, which is where I hazard my guess that we've got issues. See that? There's a bridge right there. That's not solder, that's a bridge. Right here, you see that? That's a bridge of solder. So no wonder this is not working. Somebody has tried to replace the south bridge and bridged underneath. This side seems to be flux. Even this, you might be looking at it going, "Oh, that looks like a bridge joint." No, that's probably flux just here. But I'm pretty certain the other side was definitely a bridge. I have just noticed something, however. There's a component missing from here? No. Well, there's a bunch of things going on. Okay, this has had a lot of work done to it, by the way. If I can get this working, it'll be a miracle, because there's been so many components taken off, replaced. Even maybe some of these caps by the Wi-Fi IC do not look straight. So I wonder how much has actually been done. I don't know if the BIOS is the original BIOS. It doesn't necessarily matter because it's a digital board, so we should be okay. But you see this cap here. I wonder if this area is shorted. Is this shorted? No, perhaps it was though, which is why they took that off. Is this area shorted? Again, perhaps it was. Is this fuse okay? Seems it, hey? No? Here to here? No. So there's something going on with this fuse. Continuity? No continuity. So we do have an issue with the fuse here, but I don't think it's a short anymore by the looks of it. Is it? No. There's a component missing here as well. So I'm going to just highlight here again. Console has been opened. No components are missing. I mean, could you turn around and say he's talking about power supply and those sorts of bits? Of course, but you know, this is very much a component right here, which is missing. This one. We are missing a component. What is the resistance on this fuse? Because it has blown, it's open. What's the resistance? There we go, 23 mega ohms. We can safely say that's a GG. Now, I don't know where to start here. There's a lot to do. There's a fuse here as well. I kind of want to check all the fuses just to get a good idea. That's open as well. Oh no, that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. It just took my multimeter a while to register it. There's been probing and prodding everywhere on this board. Absolutely everywhere. This one, that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and assume that all the other fuses are actually okay, to be honest. That's okay as well. And just one next to it here. Yeah, all good. So we've got the HDMI encoder IC as well, which is probably going to need some work done to it. Let me just have a look. How is that solder job? Let's see, shall we? Mon ami. I mean, it kind of looks connected there. What about this side? There's a chunk, not a chunk taken out of it, but there is a line down next to it. It could be soldered on a little bit better, but theoretically it should work because you can see how you've got the connections off solder, albeit they look a little bit loose. Should be all right. And this side? Yeah, all good. From what I can tell anyway, it doesn't look like there's any missing solder connecting the pads to the pins. And this side as well. Fine. So this job should technically be okay. I might run my iron over it just to make sure, especially on the bottom side here, but we should be okay. There is one thing I haven't checked actually. SSD controller IC. Please don't tell me you've been changed as well. Please. You haven't. That is absolutely fantastic. So that's what the south bridge is meant to look like, right? So you see that? That's what the south bridge is meant to look like. And then we go over to the south bridge, you see this. Yeah, definitely not the same, is it? Definitely not the same. So there's a bunch of flux being left under this chip as well. I'm looking forward to getting all of this out. I don't know where that inductor's come from or going to. It was found around here, and there's nowhere that I can see on the board at all where that inductor would go. So I think what's happened is they've potentially changed out for another inductor, say for example this one, because they thought the inductor was faulty because they were getting a short on it. But I've never seen an inductor go bad personally, like one of these big ones or one of these coils. I've never seen these go bad. They don't for me. And this chip looks like it's been changed. As we can see, it looks like it's just out of alignment. So is this soldered on correctly as well? There's so many like things that I need to consider here and investigate. No, that's not on correctly. I can see it just about to this. Is it connecting? Are those joints connecting? Perhaps. That side seems to be okay. This one might be okay, to be fair, but could definitely do with it might just be hanging on for dear life. Just be hanging on. And this side, you can see how far it's been pushed over here. Look, yeah, just there. So that needs a reflow. There's so much to do on this board. I think we start with like just tidying up what I believe needs to be tidied, you know, putting this component back on and this one here, because I think this is some sort of buck converter or something, which will take the 5 to the 3 or something along those lines. And without this being present, I believe that's why we don't have our 3.3 volt rail, as well as the south bridge being potentially shorted and this chip not being on correctly. Plus the fact this fuse is bang. That is definitely most probably also going to be a reason why we're not getting a 3.3 volt on some area of the board. So this fuse needs to come off. First things first, I'm going to take the battery out because I'm going to be like operating quite near it. So let's just go ahead and some like it just needs a little bit of a clean perhaps as well. Could also potentially do with a little bit of tinning here. Usually I wouldn't, you know, re-tin stuff. I just use the solder that we have, but we seem to be lacking a little bit of solder on this pin. So I will mix this with a tiny bit of leaded, heating the board up a little bit. Come with some flux. Mind you, I might need a little bit more flux here. We'll see. No, that's fine. Clean that up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix this. I have no idea. However, what would be cool is if the person who sold me this device was watching. So again, it becomes a little bit of feedback. I might not fix it, and you know, I'm awful at what I do. But if in the event that I am able to fix it, hopefully that person can use it as some positive feedback. You know. Let's place this on. This is the chip that we are missing, and we've mixed leaded with unleaded now, so this will sit on nicely, just like that. And then I'll come off, and I'll come in with a tiny bit of flux and lower my airspeed now. So I'll just drop that little bit of flux there, lower the speed to about 40% or so, and just flow it in place. Here we go. Doesn't want to sit properly. Just a quick run over with the iron. Now I need to make sure that's on properly. Yeah. No, it looks like it can come over a little bit more, which is weird because it kind of sat down in place for me. So it kind of feels like it's bonded on the board to the solder, but we've got some issue here. Same board revision, exactly the same chip as the one that I've taken off. I just need to kind of get it centered a little bit better. There it goes. Little poke. That's better. Much better. Just need that tiny little reflow. Whilst I'm here as well, I know this doesn't really matter. I'm just going to drop a flux on that cap and give that some love. I could do the chip whilst I'm here as well, I guess, right? And the fuse. Just bang it all out. So I'm going to try and let the flux do the work here. But I might need to give the chip a little bit of a push. It's not moving just yet. There we go. It just moves into place. That's fine. Let's remove this fuse. Let's put from what I know, a known working fuse on here. Bit of flux. There it goes into place. Nice. As for this cap, it doesn't need any of this, by the way. But I'm just going to give it a tiny touch up there. Just get some of that excess solder off. Doesn't need it. Just leave it as is. Okay, I think that's this area sorted for now. Everything else looks okay. I'm just going to wait for that to cool down. Come in with my microfiber and get majority of that flux off. But then I'll just put a little bit of IPA with a brush and my microfiber here. And give it a nice clean. And there we go. That looks a lot better. How's this chip now? Is it sat on the pads better? Yep, looks good. This side. Yep, looks good. It just needed a little reflow, that was all. Just to get it a little bit more centered. Find that side. Find that side. Nice. This chip's good. This fuse is good. This cap was fine. I kind of made it a little bit worse, I think. Now we just have to remove the south bridge as well. For the removal, I'm going 480 degrees Celsius, 99% airflow, just to get this bad boy off the board. I've got my fume extractor on pretty much max to help me here with the flux itself, because I know there's going to be a bunch of flux coming from underneath this chip. As we can see already, it is bubbling. This is why I don't like to use that much flux, you know. And when it bubbles like this, especially, I mean, this hasn't even been on here for long, so I don't think the flux was great. The south bridge itself might be reusable. I'll see what the condition is like after I've taken it off. Now, luckily, that all looks okay under there. Definitely had some bridges. So I'm going to add my flux now, just some Kingbo. Again, link will be down below in the description. I'm going to go ahead and assume they've used leaded, but I'm not going to take that risk. So I'm going to come in with my soldering iron now and just run leaded over these pads. Then come in with a wickety wick wick. Microfiber, give it a little bit of a clean. And there we go. Most of the stuff under there is actually okay, to be honest. None of it looks horrendous at all. This I would call a success, definitely. I didn't know what the condition of this was going to be like underneath, if they've tried to redo the south bridge. Sometimes it can be a mess. This was not bad at all. State of the actual south bridge. Yeah, we can see that there was bridges underneath. What south bridge is it? 69 GG. Question is, do I have a board 69? I've got a 61. What's this? 61 as well. That means I'm just going to have to reball one quickly. I wonder if we can just go for the same one, to be honest with you. If this is a 69 GG they've used, why not? These are the more expensive south bridges that we have, the 69 GGs. So I might as well see if I can reuse this, because I think clearly it was bridged underneath. I'm going to start off by just warming the chip up. And like I said, hopefully it's going to be okay in terms of actual rebuilding. I think it'll be all right. I don't see why not. Give it some heat. Come in with our flux. Quick clean, make sure it's okay. Here it is, 69 GG. And the actual chip itself looks all right. We have a little bit of a via over here, but to be honest, that should be okay. Just it's got a tiny bit of exposure, but it should be all right. Place it in here, apply a little bit of flux. Now I'm going to go 0.5 mil balls, I believe. Just so out these balls, couple more laying about. Get off. Get out of here. One more up here as well. Just there. Settled down. There we go. I think that's it. Looking at it. Come in with some flux now and just reflow these balls. Wait for it to cool down a second, and then I'm going to give it a nice clean with my toothbrush. It should be ready to go onto our board. There we go. All good to go. I hope. We'll soon find out. Here's our motherboard where the south bridge goes. First of all, I'm actually just going to put some heat into the board. So I'm going 450 degrees Celsius here with an airflow speed of 50%, just to put some hot air into the board itself. Just like that. Should be enough. Coming with some flux, and this should be pretty liquidy straight away, which it is. I'm just going to spread it evenly as I can, just like that. Put our chip the right way, which is this way, and put it in place. Get a feel for it. Which I want to say is there. Tweezer on top and off. If at this point I see any excess hairs, I will just quickly remove them as best I can. All right, and we'll keep that same speed now, 450 degrees Celsius, 50% airflow. Here we go. There it goes, just shifts into place, just there. You see that? Now I just saw it shift into place. I'm not going to nudge it or anything like that, because I'm pretty confident that this chip has gone onto the actual pads of the motherboard. Once it is a little bit cooler, I'll lift the board up and inspect them. I also, with this method, without using too much flux, I don't need to come in and do any cleaning of sorts right now. I use minimal flux, which should then allow me to see if I've got a good connection on the balls to the pads on the motherboard. Alternatively, if I do come in even now and just spread this around with flux, then I'm going to have a bunch of gunky flux underneath the chip, which isn't really massively needed. So if I just tilt this up now, let's see if these balls are on the pads. Yeah, that looks nice to me. Really, really nice. If I go from here as well, this angle. Looks lovely jubbly. This angle as well, looking really, really nice. And then finally our last one, I believe, is this side. Just to get a nice, there we go, look at that. A lot better than what it was before. And you can see that it's not clogged up with a bunch of flux, you know. That looks nice and clean to me. Now, to just be safe in this scenario, what I'm going to do is really, really quickly check for any shorts on the back of the south bridge. However, I'm pretty confident that we're going to be okay. I just don't know if this south bridge is good. You know, even though the reball went successfully, I don't know if the actual south bridge is faulty, the one they put on, or, you know, after they put it on, did it develop a short because of some balls that were bridged? But everything seems to be a-okay there. Now then, I think we just stick it in the chassis, plug the power in, and see if we get all of our rails. I do quickly need to just clean this with a tiny bit of IPA, because there's like some marking on the bottom of it. And I'll give it a brand new battery as well, because why not? Okay, so again, before giving this power, I'm not even going to put the clamp on. I'm just going to measure the voltages to make sure we're all good. If I don't, what I risk here is potentially blowing the south bridge or doing something else to the board when I give it power. So, do we get our, assuming we're going to get our 12, because nothing's really changed in that regard. Yeah, we get our 12. Do we get our 5? Yeah, our 3.3 is what we need. We got our 3.3. Okay, we don't have any shorts as well, which is really, really good. There's a bunch of other voltages like 2 and stuff. So we have our basics. Is this going to power on? Let me just take this out and put the clamp on. I'll be really happy with this one if it is fixed because it's had quite a lot of work done to it. I need to swap this screw out because it's quite stripped, but I'll do that after. Okay, here we go. Momentous of truth. Do we have power? And if we do have power, please don't be a beep on beep off. Just work. 3, 2, turn that off. 1. Good. Show me a white light. Please show me a white light because this board has been through a lot. Yes, we get a white light. Let's go. Now, it's definitely going to reboot. So we're going to hear, that'll go back to a blue light and it'll go beep, beep, beep because it's had some severe operations done on it. It's not going to be happy with just a singular white light, as we'll hear any second now. We'll go back to a blue light. And then that's how we can guarantee we're going to get the beep, beep, beep. Unless it's in safe mode, which also wouldn't be great if it was in safe mode. Just plug in HDMI. I got HDMI 1. I reckon it's safe mode. It's just started. What? Yeah, it's just booted up. I've just turned it off. I'm just a bit shocked that it didn't go to a blue light after everything that it's had done to it, if that makes sense. But I'm also not going to argue with that. I'm going to put everything back together, sort out the liquid metal, give it a nice clean, and just confirm with you guys that we're all good. Because it kind of seems a little bit too good to be true. Okay, well, here we have the PlayStation 5 in all its glory. It's all good. It's all working. It's all on. I'm going to go through a reset, quickly play a game, test the game, make sure that we're all good on that front as well. And then I can call this one good. Okay, I played a little bit of Simpsons Fortnite on it. I'm still really, really bad at the game. But this console is all ready to go. I have, however, just seen on Amazon for Black Friday, they have a PlayStation 5 Slim Edition console, brand new, for £280. Now, I usually sell this for around about 210, 220. So selling this for a console only is going to probably have to wait a week or two. Otherwise, I'll be selling it for 50p. But let's head on over to Sally's Spectacular spreadsheet to work out some profit. Episode 60, PS5 digital. Cost 125.88, selling for, I'm going to say £200. I'm going to do lower because then hopefully I'll be surprised. But we're looking at a rough profit of £56.12 today. I can't update the total profit because it hasn't sold yet and it's not accurate. So I'll fill that information in as soon as I have it. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to use the affiliate links down below in the description. If you did enjoy this video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And as always, I shall see you in the next one. Peace.